Hello and welcome once again everyone to another World of Warships video. Today I'm going to look at the Tier 5 Russian battleship Pyotr Velikiy. So let's go straight to the ship and captain build. Starting off, let's quickly go through the full Pyotr Velikiy ship build, starting with the consumables. Using premium consumables is a must here, as the Russian battleships come with a limited number of consumables, unlike all other nations which get unlimited damage control parties. So, combined with Superintendent, the max you can have per game is 5. The advantages of the extra heal, of course, is self-explanatory. Onto the ship upgrades: main armaments mod 1, damage control mod 1, and aiming systems mod 1. The captain skills are next, starting with, I suggest for the first 10 points, priority target, expert marksman, superintendent, and concealment expert, followed by adrenaline rush, basics of survivability, and fire prevention, in the training order of your own preference. A quick side note here on the Pyotr Velikiy's 4-end armour belt, both upper and lower being notably very strong compared to other Tier 5 battleships, making bow tanking a very viable tactic. Let's look at the ship core stats using this build. For survivability we get 51,100 hit points, but notably here a very weak torpedo protection damage reduction of just 13%. Main artillery consists of 4 dual 356mm turrets, with 2 in the front, 2 in the back, with a relatively slow reload speed of 33 seconds and a max range of 16 kilometers. We get a pretty mediocre AA defense rating of 35, with a relatively short max range of 4.6 kilometers. Maneuverability, we get a top speed of 26.5 knots, a turning circle of 800 meters, and a rudder shift time of 11.5 seconds. Finally, a concealment rating of 56. Pyotr Velikiy will be surface detected at 11.9 kilometers by other ships, and by aircraft at 8.3 kilometers. Just a quick reminder, I'm uploading content regularly to YouTube, so if you want to keep in touch, just follow the on-screen instructions. A quick look at the matchmaking. It's quite normal to see a double CV line up now, but they're only Tier 4, so all in all it's quite favourable for my very first game in the Pyotr Velikiy. As I mentioned in my previous video on how to play the Izmail, if you happen to have missed it, I added a link in the top right for your convenience. I actually played the Tier 6 before the Tier 5. So although this is my very first match in the Pyotr Velikiy, I must admit to having the experience of using the exact same caliber armament, the 356mm guns. The only real difference being is the Tier 5 has a 4x2 gun setup, instead of the Izmail's 4x3. With that being said, the Pyotr Velikiy feels much tankier due to this very strong frontal bow armour, and will dictate how I'm going to play this ship. The Russian battleship line differs from all other battleship lines in a number of ways. Firstly, getting a set number of damage control parties. While that may sound like a disadvantage, they do have a shorter cooldown, and I've yet to find myself in a situation where I've actually run out due to running the superintendent skill. The biggest difference, however, is the fact that the Russian BB line benefits greatly for getting reduced dispersion at medium range. Shots away at the broadside cruiser, and only now do I realise I have got high explosive loaded. First time you play any new ship, high explosive is always the default ammunition, so opportunity missed there straight away. Your ideal engagement range will be in that 10 to 12 kilometer zone, as illustrated in the opening clip of the video. Of course, dispersion is governed by RNG, but consistently engaging from this kind of range will deliver quite positive results. Hanging back, however, at long range, trying to farm damage will yield very disappointing games, so the order of the day is playing with controlled aggression. Make the conscious decision to look for flanks where you can bow tank and be aggressive, when you have the support And don't worry about making mistakes or overextending. It will happen from time to time, but attempt to learn from it. Notice how I'm changing speed here, first to half and then to full stop, to throw off the enemy Koenig's aim. He would appear to be making a hard turn away, so I'm just going to over aim. He does indeed continue making that turn away. Get a couple of overpens for 4200. He is now fully angled away. Emerald is coming closer, but he is fully angled in. Enemy dive bombers coming in. Torpedo planes, I mean. Emerald is showing full broadside now and attempting to smoke up. I was expecting him to turn away slightly, and I only managed to get a couple of overpens, and that's a little disappointing, although I did slightly over aim, so I can't really blame the dispersion there too much. Turn away quickly to avoid this torpedo. Hit the brakes again. Battleship shooting at me there, and the Koenig is having a go again. He is attempting to use the border to make a hard turn here. Carbine is fully angled. I should have really been a little bit more patient and just waited for him to make that turn. And 1000 damage is the expected return for such an attempt. And that's the big thing about playing any kind of battleships, is being patient, waiting for that right moment. And now instead of waiting for a long reload here, I could have had an easy shot at this guy's broadside. But that's all part of the learning process. Enemy Emerald is running away. Bit of a speculative shot. I was hoping he'd continue to make that turn, but he straightened out instead. One overpen. Quite hard to hit such a maneuverable target like the Emerald at that range. Enemy Omaha. Another very maneuverable target. Still plane spotted here. Again, trying to judge the Omaha's turn, but he's actually turned the opposite direction. He actually managed to bounce one of my shells there. He was perfectly angled. I think it's time to start pushing up this flank. I've got cruiser support here. Our team looks a little bit bunched up and unwilling to push. Enemy Yubari. It's quite fast. Also very maneuverable. And he's just... yeah, he's managed to turn away. At 2100. Faced here with very small maneuverable fast cruisers. Yubari, the Emerald, the Omaha. My own Omaha is intent on the enemy. He doesn't see me coming. Barry's making a hard turn. Again, attempt to judge. He gets undetected. No hits whatsoever on that Yubari. He was quite successful in evading that salvo. Enemy Carbine is continuing to run away. It may seem like it's been an unsuccessful start, but we have been quite successful in driving back the enemy support cruisers, avoiding the Carbine's volley there. Shots away. Carbine is being whittled down. Dispersion is not bad. He did manage to turn away at the last second. 4500 volley on him. He will go down to one of our cruisers. Indeed he does. So the enemy team is in full retreat here. They're down 4 ships. We've only lost a destroyer so far. Enemy U-Barry spotted again. This U-Barry is proving to be quite elusive for the moment. One overpen. Enemy Koenig. My target selection could have been a little bit better there. I would have had a shot at the Koenig's flat broadside. And by the time my guns are reloaded, he's just angled away. Enemy Oma is approaching, so I'm going to try and get undetected behind this island. He's still sailing forward. Although he is quite aware of my presence, he's just fired at me there. And he's already beginning to turn away. That's a little unfortunate. I was hoping to get a close range shot at this guy to actually put these guns to the test. This guy has been quite clever. I have noticed he is maneuvering constantly. Did I catch his turn there? Dispersion is pretty good. Almost a 7,000 volley, despite being fully angled away. You can see that dispersion at closer range is quite good. He's now very much aware that I am shooting at him and hunting him down. Does manage to set me on fire. Just going to play with my speed here, throw off his aim. Just going to fire my front gun to make him turn. But he's quite clever. He's already turning away to avoid the second volley as well. This is the kind of fight where I'm not really too eager in pushing forward. He has the advantage. He's kiting away. He's very, very hard to hit. And he can constantly set me on fire, so I'm just going to let this fire burn out. Activate my heal. I'm still plane spotted, which is a little bit unfortunate. Cruiser is maneuvering away. I may as well keep shooting as I'm plane spotted. Although trying to hit this Omaha, who is actively changing course quite well, it's going to be a tall order. Enemy carrier spotted. He's just about to get behind that island. We can continue this push down here. The enemy cruisers are intent on running away, and now their carriers are being forced into running away now also. Probably going to see a lot more of their planes from now on. And we can get an idea of how the Pyotr Velikiy's anti-aircraft deals with Tier 4 carriers. There are still 2 here somewhere behind those islands, so we won't have a shot at them, but they will be able to. Okay, I did manage to see planes landing there, so one is definitely behind that island. My friendly Omaha is taking the brunt of the carriers at the moment. Enemy Omaha is also spamming him from behind that island. The range on the Velikiy's anti-aircraft defense is pretty limited at just 4.6 kilometers. planes are all at the extreme edge of my range, basically. On the plus side, I haven't been spammed too much by high explosive, so the vast majority of my anti-aircraft guns are still intact. Oma is perfectly angled in towards me. Still get a nice hit on him. Although, once again, I just should have anticipated. He wouldn't have kept coming straight at me. He was trying to wait for my guns to shoot, and so he could turn in safely and behind that island. Once again, a little bit impatient. Enemy Langley attempting to flee. Multiple overpens. He is angled away and he is quite lightly armoured, so the chance of overpens is quite high. Both enemy carriers now, and incoming fire from the New York. He's actually out of my gun range, so I was only angled towards him. I wasn't actually paying too much attention to him. He's just on the outer edge of my gun range, so it's pointless even trying to engage him at the moment. I'm going to remain fully angled in towards him and continue focusing. A nice citadel on the Langley. Just going to turn in quickly to avoid these torpedoes. As soon as it goes by, I'm going to angle back towards the New York. If I'm lucky, get another salvo off before this Langley disappears behind the island. Oh, that's a little unfortunate. A couple of my shells caught the top of the island there. Didn't continue through to the target. Rocket planes coming in. Very little damage on the bow section. It's well armoured. Very well protected against high explosive. Managed to shoot down a couple of planes there. Another one. Multiple attack groups coming in now. Dive bombers coming in from both carriers. We are shooting down the odd plane here, which always helps. You managed to set me on fire. Kind of forced into a position where I do have to keep angled to this New York. I don't want to show too much. I am mitigating his shells pretty well. He has fired, so now I can get some shots away on him. He is turning away. Managed to get over 6,000 damage on him. He's quite low. Just gonna angle in again. Other carrier has appeared. I am managing to shoot down quite a number of planes here. So the anti-aircraft isn't actually all that bad. It's quite effective against tier 4 carriers. Salvo away on the Langley. 5200, all overpens. Even though those rocket planes are landing quite a few hits, it's all being negated by quite strong armour on the Pyotr Velikiy. I can turn my nose into the New York virtually with impunity. He is insisting on shooting armour piercing at me, and he's virtually incapable of doing any damage. So I'm just going to turn by these torpedoes quickly. New York has fired, so he did manage to keep one gun. Turn back, angle towards New York again. Shots away, hopefully finish off this carrier. No, another 5 overpens. We have managed to shoot down quite a few planes. That's a nice little bonus. I managed to finish off the Langley. with close quarters expert. I did notice the New York did manage to get a penetration there on my lower bow armour. I should be able to finish him off here quite easily. He is quite low. Managed to bounce all the shells there. I was perfectly angled to a salvo. Carrier planes still coming in on me. That was quite a successful drop, nearly 5,000 damage. Did manage to shoot down both planes just too late. Last remaining planes from the carriers coming in. They seem intent. The elusive Ubari appears once again. And he is quite fast. Just managed to catch him perfectly on his stern. The game finished soon afterwards without further incident. I'm quite sure sterner tests are to come. This was just my first game, remember. But my initial reaction is this all has characteristics of a potential seal clubber in the making. And thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've linked some more of my recent videos at the end. Feel free to check them out. Let me know in the comments what you think, or if there is anything in particular you'd like to see. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.